All right. I wanted to talk about a lot of the information that I put out here is something that I've experienced on my own or I've done research on it, mostly. Okay. I wanted to share about how, excuse the noise, I wanted to share how your life can become a little hectic or you might have problems if you're, excuse me, if you don't move towards your spiritual path, your spiritual goals. So I'm gonna tell you a little story first, and then I will get into some of the gifts that I have that I'm supposed to be sharing with the world. Last Saturday, me and my son, we was outside in the yard, and I'm trying to not okay. And I was barefoot. I can't remember if I was exactly barefoot or if I had socks on. I can't remember. But we was in the grass, and I hate the type of grass that's over here because it's like one type of grass. It's not like your fluffy grass with your different types of weeds and clovers and stuff like that. So it's quite rough, and especially if the ground is depleted of its nutrients. You'll see the burnt grass, the stiff, hard grass. The soil is just dirt and not soil. So, anyways, we was playing ball with the rackets and everything, and I stepped on something in the grass, and it hurt, but not too bad. But it was quite annoying. So I went to go put my shoes back on so we can finish playing ball. Anyways, later when we came back inside, I wanted to see if I had something in my foot, in the heel of my left foot. But I didn't see anything. At least maybe I didn't look hard enough, or because it was in an awkward position on the heel of my left foot. Very hard to kind of like keep depending on your flexibility. So I didn't see anything Saturday, but I noticed, walking on this foot, it was actually quite painful. And so I walked on that foot, that heel, all day Saturday. And then Sunday I woke up, and it was still painful to walk on. And so part of that day I decided to look again. And that's when I saw this, I guess you can call it a splinter. And it was very awkward. So I got a needle and sterilized it, of course, and I tried to dig it out. I dig as much out as I tried to like dig around it to try to like get my needle in there, but it was so awkward and it was so deep, and I think it got so deep because I was walking on it for more than a day. And the left side of your body is your feminine side. So I couldn't dig it out. I got tired and annoyed, and I just left it there. And I think the next day, like I said, still having the pain or whatever, and I, researched to see if it would be a problem to leave it there. What will your body do? Will your body dissolve it? And most of the answers I got was you need to get it out because it can lead to infection, especially if it's something that came from outside. Well, I don't think I got an infection or anything like that for leaving it in as long as I did. So I think this was Wednesday morning. My heel was just like in a lot of pain, like as if I was actually like walking on it, just waking up. So I did some more research to see if I can find some information on how to get it out, because if I couldn't get it out, then I would have to go into the doctor so they can get it out for me, and I didn't want to have to do that. So I found something online talking about how sometimes you can kind of like pull it back to the surface. And so anyways, I tried one of the recipes with a baking soda paste. So I put a baking soda paste on my heel, put a Band-Aid and some tape on it, and I left it there. They said to leave it for 24 hours, but I didn't. I left it for maybe 13 or 14 hours. So I did it like 7 o'clock in the morning Wednesday, and then I took it off about 10 p.m. So I did that, and I tried to dig it out, and I got this, like, I can actually like see like this miniature hole in my foot. That's how much I was just digging around it and, cutting away skin and all that kind of stuff, and I still couldn't get it out. And it was just at a weird angle. So what I did was I tried to like get underneath it. It was really hard to get underneath it if it's being in my heels. So I tried to get underneath it as best as I could, and I just wiggled around a little bit, and less than 15 seconds just of trying to get under it and wiggle it out. It literally just kind of like forced its way up. Like it popped out like, like a jack in a box. That's how fast this little bitty like splinter thing came out. And when it did that, it sent chills all over my body, because I was just amazed on how it came out, how fast it came out. Like it was nothing, like it was easy peasy. So I was really relieved that I finally got it out on my own. And I might put a picture of how small it was. But that little bitty splinter caused so much problems, and it was ridiculous. And so basically why I believe I got this splinter is in my right side, in my right foot, was because I wasn't following my spiritual path. I was actually I found a screenshot on my phone. I'm going to read it to you really quick. Okay, then this screenshot, it says, I screenshotted this January 24, 2022. Let me see, what year is this? This is 2023. So this was nearly like a year and a half ago. I had a screenshot about the left foot. Okay, it says the left side of your foot is influenced by the functioning of the right side of your brain, which is your intuitive, feminine, and imaginative brain sphere. This right sphere of the brain concentrates the aspects of your personality that's most closely aligned with the spiritual dimension. Therefore, your left foot is responsible for supporting and leading you onto your spiritual path. Look at both of your feet together side by side on the ground. They'll both appear to be very different. Is your left foot larger, perhaps softer in appearance? Consider that your left foot is your feminine and your spiritual foot. What does it say about how well you're currently following your spiritual path? Sorry. Okay, so and then the person, whoever like wrote this article, it says, I tend to find that any issues with the left foot can reveal that you're not fully following through with the path that soul wants you to lead. You could be ignoring your spiritual call. There could be a lack of trust in your spiritual path. Perhaps you cannot see where the spiritual path would take you, or you fear the results of what would need to change in your life in order to be yourself and align with soul and spirit. Now, I find that very interesting because before I got that splinter, I was heavenly the entire week, heavenly working on this puzzle, this 3,000 piece puzzle, a beautiful puzzle. And I've been working on it day and night, losing track of time, working on it for hours. And I was pretty much addicted to this puzzle. Not only was I working a lot on this puzzle, spending a lot of time on this puzzle, but I was spending a lot of time making jewelry as well. So I think that was Spirit's way of telling me that I'm spending way too much time on things that is not connected to my spiritual path, okay? So even though I was putting videos throughout the week, I was spending way too much time on things that wasn't important. I was distracted. You can say that. And so I believe that's why I got the splinter. And I find it very odd that the day that I got the splinter out was actually the day I started more consistently putting more videos out on social media. And so basically by coming across that screenshot a year and a half ago, I must have injured my left foot back in 2022. So basically, I guess learning to read the signs to get back on track of your spiritual path is, I think it's a skill like exercising a muscle, something you have to continue to do with consistency. And so basically, my gifts is that I'm very intuitive and I have prophetic visions and dreams. So I am supposed to be utilizing those gifts and sharing them with the world. And how I can share them with the world, I mean, we have this beautiful thing that we call the internet. And most people, there's billions of people on the internet. And so all I have to do is share my wisdom, my knowledge, my prophecies on social media, and hopefully the people who needs to see or hear whatever messages I have, they can see them. So I guess that's pretty much why I wanted to share my story is if you're having some issues in your life or things just seems to not want to go right, then you might want to evaluate to see if you're on your right spiritual path, your what you came here to do. Because I know in the past I've had a pretty chaotic life. Excuse me, I'm not gonna say chaotic, but I was going through a lot of confusion in the past. I would say like maybe like last year, 2021. Well, you know what? I can't even really put a foot on it because I had my first awakening. My I'm not gonna say first awakening. I've had many awakenings, but I had a major awakening in 2016, and from then on, I started doing like extra research. 2012, I feel like that was the beginning part of my own research, like with the food industry, and what they doing with foods, stuff like that. But for years since 2016, I've been trying to figure out where I fit in, what are my gifts, and actually the first time that I've actually had prophetic visions and dreams, I wasn't even like fully into spirituality. I was just actually starting to like do research and stuff on religions and the occult and stuff like that. And so I'm not gonna get into those dreams, but I had some prophetic dreams and prophetic visions that actually came true. Like it happens like a week later, so it's not like months or whatever, but it happens like a week later. So that is part of my gifts. And so Spirit is nudging me to talk about my prophecies on here because someone may need to hear it. It may be not for me, but it can be for somebody else. It can be for the whole world. So I'm gonna get off here and stop rambling. And that's it. Thanks for watching.